Well, Dandadan Season 2 is here and Episode 1 is jam-packed. We follow things up immediately after the cliffhanger of Season 1, where Momo is in the hot springs being approached by those disgusting guys, but she's able to fight her way off and actually has some help with the luck of everything just falling apart. Yeah, just basically everything in the hot springs falls apart and falls down onto the guys, and it turns out that Turbo Granny was here the whole time, and it was the luck of a vessel she is inside that helped out. So now the two of them are reunited after Turbo Granny had snuck into her backpack. Yeah, I love this stupid cat, she's hilarious. Meanwhile, back at the house, Jean and Okarun are joined by the Ito family, some people who own the house that they're living in, and they are extremely intrusive. It's the women here that are joining them. They got this disgusting gray skin, they speak terribly, they're horrible, they're scary. Great job making them feel terrifying. Just the amount of control they have over him just by letting him stay in the house for free. And the mother, the matriarch of the family, the one in charge, is, the scariest. Eventually the men join them, and they're all the guys from the hot springs, so now everything is coming together. There are a bunch of weird, creepy people staying in the town who have at least one of the cops on their side, own a house that they let people stay in for free, and seem like they're ready to kill anybody at the drop of a hat. Just the way that they're talking to Jean and Okarun, I felt so uncomfortable, but that is the vibe that you're supposed to get. Meanwhile, Momo stops by a shrine that's supposed to have a Tsuchinoko in it, though it just has a dried out snake skin, and here she learns the local legend of the giant serpent that people give sacrifices to in order to make sure that the town stays safe, and that a giant volcano doesn't erupt. She's a little disappointed that she didn't get to see a Tsuchinoko, but she learned some valuable information, and I think that this is a great idea also to, build up the setting, and to give the viewer some information that will be important later. She catches up with everybody at the house and sees that the Ito family has beaten up Jean and Okarun, and so now she jumps into the fight, and it is a really good fight, very well done. She is able to hold her own against most of them using her powers, of course, and all her experience, but the mother is quite the force to be reckoned with as she bops her into that hidden room that Jean and Okarun had found at the end of the last season. So now it all comes full circle. The Ito family constantly sacrifices people inside this house to supposedly protect the town from the volcano erupting, and Jin and his friends, now that they're here, are going to be the next sacrifices. And the room turns to quicksand. Thankfully, Jin and Okarun are able to, use a couch to get over the Ito family and try to save Momo, but instead they all just fall down into the giant cavern underground. And here is where we meet the giant serpent that actually turns out to be a giant worm. And Okarun gets to show a bit of his expertise, as this is actually a cryptid, a Mongolian death worm, but apparently it's not supposed to get this big. If it has been living for this long and has been feeding off of people every so often, then I guess it makes sense for it to be giant. And it is extremely satisfying when it eats the Ito family while they're, praising it, trying to appease it, thinking that it is a giant serpent, but in reality it is just a giant worm, with psychic powers that causes two of our heroes to go crazy, and that is the cliffhanger that this episode ends off on. Great start to the season, like I said, jam-packed, and there's a lot going on, but this next arc that's going to play out is really fun. I actually have seen the first 3 episodes, and I did a review on it because they show that in the movie theater, so if you want to watch that, you can go ahead and check that out.